High above the open ocean, two military aircraft hurtle through the sky at nearly the speed of sound. No warning shots, no radio apology, just meters of empty air between steel, fuel, and human lives. In one sudden maneuver, a Chinese fighter jet closes in, far too close on an Australian military aircraft. It wasn't a mistake, it was a message, and it nearly ended in catastrophe. To understand how this happened, you have to understand where it happened. The Indo-Pacific has become the most militarized airspace on Earth. Here, reconnaissance aircraft fly legally through international airspace, collecting radar data, monitoring naval movements, and ensuring transparency. Australia, a longtime U.S. ally, regularly conducts these patrols as part of regional security agreements. China, however, sees these flights differently. To Beijing, they are provocations, symbols of foreign power operating near its expanding sphere of influence. And in recent years, China's response has grown bolder and far more aggressive. On this mission, an Australian military aircraft was conducting routine operations when it was intercepted by a Chinese fighter jet. Intercepts themselves are not unusual. What happened next was the Chinese jet closed the distance rapidly, flying dangerously close, crossing directly in front of the Australian military aircraft's nose. At such speeds, even a tiny miscalculation could cause turbulence-induced loss of control, structural damage, or a mid-air collision with no survivors. In aviation terms, this was classified as an unsafe and unprofessional maneuver. From inside the cockpit, the Australian crew had seconds to react. No evasive turn, no retaliation, just discipline. Because one wrong move, one aggressive response, could have turned a tense intercept into an international incident, or worse, a shooting war. Australia formally condemned the maneuver, calling it dangerous and irresponsible. China denied wrongdoing, but the message was already delivered. These intercepts are not about combat, they're about psychology. They test how far a nation will tolerate intimidation, how disciplined its pilots are under pressure, and how close the world can come to disaster before someone blinks. This single encounter joined a growing list of similar incidents involving US, Canadian, and Allied aircraft, all pointing to a troubling trend in modern military brinkmanship. No missiles were fired that day, no planes fell from the sky. But the danger was real, because modern wars don't always begin with explosions. Sometimes they begin with a fighter jet flying just a little too close, and the world holding its breath.